I would say that our trip to Japan was very powerful.
I went in very open-minded so that I could just be very open to learn.
It was so special that we went on the 80th anniversary. I'm quite interested in how countries and communities have this collective memory or trauma about conflict.
We heard a lot of stories from Hibakusha, who are the survivors of the bombings.
Through the burning woods.
A lot of them told stories about growing up either without their parents or without close family, and the generational impacts that that has, the impacts of like radiation and the social implications of that even today, and the stigma that goes along with that.
A lot of what I learned in the history textbooks and history class, I'm rethinking those narratives now, I guess because I had never met anyone who was affected, for example, or maybe I just took it for granted that the US was justified in dropping 2 atomic bombs.
It was one of my first opportunities to encounter what the church looks like in such a different context. You walk into the World Peace Cathedral in Hiroshima and there's this probably 2 or 3 story tall mosaic of Christ. At the same time, there's this great burst of light of gold and white that's shooting through from the side, and it pierces right through his heart. They explained it to us and they said that this was created as a representation of Christ whose heart was pierced by the atomic bomb as it fell to the earth like lightning. I took a moment to pause.
There was that image at Urakami Cathedral in Nagasaki. There was a statue of the Virgin Mary where it was just the head that was remaining.
Seeing the A-bombed Mary was deeply impactful because of the stark reminder of the deep pain and suffering that these people experienced.
After our big mass at the Urakami Cathedral, we processed from the hilltop of the cathedral all the way down to the Hypocenter Park, right beneath where the bomb exploded. And we prayed the rosary together. And despite the fact that I was praying in English and the other people were praying in Japanese, we knew that Our Lady was with us as she prayed for peace, as we prayed for peace, and to know that there was something very, very special in that moment that I don't think I'll ever be able to replicate in this life.
Or this experience being on this pilgrimage was the first time really. I really felt like my Catholic identity and spirituality, kind of my vocation as a peace builder, aspiring peace builder, and just my own personal identity as Korean American, Asian American. I feel like I could kind of step in to all of those roles at the same time. In my life, at least, they've kind of been siloed. That word's come up a lot in you have silos and nuclear bunkers, right? But you also have silos like things that are isolated from each other. And this trip, really reflecting on it now, helped me realize that I think the way I can live the fullest and truest to my own values and my own identity is when I can fully express, all of these different parts of myself.
One message that we heard over and over and over was that Nagasaki should be the last A-bomb city. And I hope that people take this message to heart.
I think hope is the really central theme that pervaded through all of the pilgrimage, knowing that without hope, there isn't a future in which any of this gets better. Without hope, we don't move towards something better for our children and their children. And without hope, we'll always be stuck in the ashes of that which we've destroyed. It's only in hoping in a future together, in hoping in a future with Christ, that we can move towards something which is more beautiful, which is more peaceful, and which is more sustainable.